Alright. Continuing removal of the wiring on this White 277, I believe. There's a screw there up under the body of the machine here, and I believe that is the thing holding the light fixture in place in this body. So here we are. Okay. This is the motor and the light harness off of the machine. I did test the machine with that dangerously frayed wire. I was incredibly careful, but the light switch doesn't work, and as you can see when I poke it, it does not pop back. So I think this light switch is indeed bad, because this is a push button and should pop back out further if it's working properly. So we'll see what we can do about there. It just popped back now. So we'll see what we can do about that. Alright. Since we're already looking at the wiring, I'm gonna pop the brushes out of this motor. Or see if I can pop the brushes out of this motor. Well, the spring came off. And that brush came out. Well, we'll see if we can pop this bottom lower brush out without having to take the motor apart. In order to do that, I'm gonna just take and I'm going to wrap that motor a little bit harder and see if that brush pops out. There. I got both brushes out. That means I'll be able to reach into the brush hole with a Q-tip soaked in alcohol and just give a brief cleaning to the commutator without having to tear the motor apart. That'll be nice on this newer White, that I don't have to tear the motor completely apart. Alright, this is upside down for the White 277 cabinet, because we need to get out some of the wiring to get that tape and other cuts fixed. And this is going to be hard to see, but we'll see. We'll try to make this work. So I'm going to zoom in, and there's a couple clamps back in here holding the wire in place, but you'll notice that the socket that goes on the back plug on the machine is completely molded on. So I am going to remove, there's another piece of tape down in here, so I'm going to have to get the wiring harness loose enough in the cabinet that I can take a look at it to inspect it, and then we'll have to do some creative repairs because that plug doesn't come apart. Alright, the wiring's hanging over the edge of the cabinet here. I'm not fully removing it. This is the end that was plugged in, cut, and then this seems like the original wiring, and then it rode under a clamp in the cabinet with a bit of insulating tape, and here is another piece of electrical tape that was put on this cable. Oh yeah, this cable got pinched at some point. Now, is that... Yep, that's the this is the control lead, and it got pinched, so they wrapped it with electrical tape there. And then the plug goes in here, and it's a molded plug. So for this here, I am going to cut this carefully, split it down the middle, and I'm going to use heat shrink tubing to splice these wires up. So I'll do the soldering connection and then splice the heat shrink tubing that goes inside the cabinet. And then the old plug, this is where it clamped in the cabinet, I'll cut it up here and apply my new wire so that it gets clamped in the cabinet for strain relief.